My journey in journalism didn't start with a YouTube channel. It started at Radio Nigeria, Enugu, way back in 2006. And it later took me into the heart of political power, into government. This is my story, a story behind the headlines and the lessons that I have learned, which I would like to share with you. Now, in this journey, I have seen how news stories are made, how productions are made. And I have also seen how power plays, how the game is played, how decisions are made in the corridors of power. This story is what I would like to share with you. So in this video, I will share with you the moments that shaped my career, the things I saw in the newsroom and other production studios, and later what I saw in government. These are the things I would like to share with you in this video. The lessons I have learned, how my career has been shaped in journalism and in government, the mistakes I made. Perhaps someone will learn from them. What I have learned about loyalty and what I have learned about power. How journalism took me across the world and how power also shaped my worldview. All of these, I will share them with you. I will share with you how decisions are made in government and how these shape politics and how these decisions affect you and I. What the key policymakers think, how they think, and how the outcomes affect the lives of ordinary people. So you see, it's a combination of my life as a journalist and my life as someone in government, being the spokesperson, being the spokesman of a governor for 8 years. These are the lessons, these are the experiences that I will be sharing with you in this video. Now, sometime in 2006, I had just finished my NYC, that's my National Youth Service Corps in Enugu, and I refused to go back to Benue, my state. I decided to stay back in Enugu and, get something doing. I just didn't want to come back home and, just be there. So I stayed back in that school, St. Joseph's Secondary School, Agbani in Enugu State. That's a part of Nkanu West local government area of Enugu State. So on this fateful day, I was listening to radio and I heard an advertisement on radio and I decided to apply for that advertisement. And this was at one of the major companies, one of the major international corporations. So I told some of my colleagues in the school I was teaching, I was also staying in that place, and I told them, let's apply for this job. So unfortunately, I was shortlisted for that interview at that international corporation. But of course, I couldn't get the notification. I had traveled to Benue to see my people, and at that time, network service was not very well. This was 2006, so GSM was relatively new in Nigeria, and where that in the part of Benue where I was at the moment, there was no network, so I didn't get any notification inviting me for that interview. So I missed the interview, and when I returned to Enugu, I was told that the interview took place. And those my colleagues who also applied for the job went for the interview. They were interviewed. So I hurriedly went to that place where the interview took place a day earlier. But I was told it was too late. And I was so sad. And on my way back from that corporation, I decided to stop over at Radio Nigeria premises in Enugu, which is on Onitsha Road in Enugu. For those of you who have been to Enugu State in Nigeria and you know this side I'm talking about. And I got into Radio Nigeria premises. It was around 4:30 p.m. Many staff had closed. And so I met one man who took me to one of the directors in Radio Nigeria Enugu, and the man told me to come back the next day. So I went back the next day, and I discovered people were applying for jobs. So I also applied, and I was shortlisted for the interview. To cut the long story short, I was shortlisted for the interview, and the day of the interview came. I was one of those who made it, and I was employed by the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in Enugu State. And that marked the beginning of this career. That's how it started. And I was posted to, first of all, to sports unit, which was under news directorate, sub-directorate at that time. We started work. It was quite an interesting experience. So that's how the story started. In the next video, I'm going to tell you how my journey began in Enugu, and from there I went to Port Harcourt, and Port Harcourt back to Enugu before I got to Abuja. You would like to hear this part of the story. Stay with me. My name is Teve Akasi, and this is the Media Periscope.